Hi, folks. Thanks very much, Aaron, for the great demo of Blackboard and grading. And this conversation is really helpful. Perspectives are different if you're teaching the high school level versus the graduate level or even the undergraduate level. While from my perspective as a graduate level instructor, keeping track of your forum posts and grading those is not really, an issue. We look at grades much more holistically. Yes, secondary or undergrad instructors, you have to look at it much more piece by piece. So I wanted to show you what Moodle is capable of doing in terms of forums. Um, I'm going to work with the forum we are currently in, right? Challenges of discussions. And we'll look at, um, we'll see just 4 posts in each. So let me just go to the settings for these. And it's just a couple of quick things to do to change, and then we can actually be grading these. So settings are largely set by default, or I've left them at the default. But here it's called ratings, and I can rate these by a count, by an average. So we'll pick a count. There are different scales. I can give this, a grade of a scale. I can check it off. I can say it's done. In this case, I'll do a checkoff grade. I can restrict it, so if someone posts next week or 2 weeks from now, I can it cannot be graded anymore. And we'll just go ahead and save and display this. So now remember that I am logged in as the instructor, so what I see will be slightly different. We'll look at Stephanie's post, and by the way, this was a heck of a great start to this conversation. I've already rated these actually, so just so it'll look like this is a default, and this little box tells me, my options. Check off is complete or incomplete. It's done or it has to be redone. Okay, so let's say Stephanie, you're fine. Aaron, I rated you fine as well. Um, just for a little difference here, let's say that Stephanie, I thought this needed to be redone, which I don't. I think it's great. And Aaron, let's say we needed this to be redone. Okay, so there you go. I've now rated these. And I can now go to the gradebook in the course. So I'm just heading back to the course. Let me pull over so you can see a little more. Okay. And I do not use the gradebook in here, but I will show you what it looks like. Grades. And every assignment here had the option to be graded. I could have graded everything along the way. You could see what you've graded. And then you'll see way down here, we had 2 and no zeros. So there are no zeros in here. We had 2 which were rated at fine. The course total was 200 so far. So it's not a, a totally, and we can see, whoops, sorry, we can see by opening this box that there were 2 fine grades. I can look at grades for just one person, and we can see we had ranges for these things. We're in module 4 and the challenge of discussions, and you'll see there's actually not a grade put in yet. It comes down here, and Aaron's got 100. Now technically, the range is redo define. It does not put a 0 in for the redo. It takes that fine grade and makes it the same. So there's other settings we could have used in that. And I think if we were actually using that for true grading, we would actually change the setting and pick something different. you'll see on anything in Moodle, and I think it's like this in a number of other forums or learning management systems, that if you are selecting something, like let's say I want to go back and look at the settings for this forum, which I can do right down the side, and I want to change the way something's graded. If I'm at all unclear of what this would mean, I can click right over here and see the possibilities. So this was the count. The number of rated items becomes the final grade. So because I rated, one thing, that's the grade. The highest rating becomes the final, the minimum, the sum, everything's added together. That would be if you're looking at a full points way, and the average. So, if you were doing a full points, like let's say every post was a 10 or something like that, the average of ratings would probably work much better if you were, picking a number between 0 and 10 or something like that. Anyway, that's a quick overview of how you might be grading things like this using Moodle. Thanks.